So here we go. Okay, so we're getting started today. Here we are. This is Sending Holiday Cheer virtually with Here For You Concierge and Emmaus Public Library. So to get started, I have a little icebreaker here. This is a present that I wrapped, and I wanted to see if you could guess what's inside, Laurie.
Well, I think I'm supposed to think that it's a book.
Oh, a book.
But I see a little bit of 3D to it. So, Is it the natural shape of what's inside, or is it in a box? Can I ask that?
It's in a box. Yeah, it's a box of something.
I'm going to guess maybe popcorn or cookies or snacks or something like that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. This is actually the Yakko's hot dog box.
Oh, wow.
To go. Yeah, so we had a Secret Santa, and my husband actually was giving this to somebody he worked with, and it is wrapped so that you can still open it and close it. So that's what is inside, is like a full dog. They call it a doggy pack from Yakko's. And the person that he gave it to was so happy and ate almost half of the hot dogs that night. So it was a good gift. So here I am. My name is Melissa Draving, and I am the owner of Here For You Concierge here in Emmaus. And Laurie is our library. What is your title of the library again, Laurie?
I am the Adult Services Librarian.
Perfect. Thank you. So thank you for inviting me to do this class today. So the reason we're talking about the holidays is because I do a lot of work here during the holidays. Like a holiday hero is my little illustration that my friend did for me. And so some of the examples of things that I do for clients during the holidays are shopping from a Christmas list, from a gift list. And these photos here are actually from a charity event. I got a list of a family. It was like 3 kids and I think the mom, and I had to go and purchase a full outfit for each child and also a toy. And you can see it took me a while because, you know, obviously shopping it was quite a challenging shopping trip, but we got it all done for my client, and she still talks about it. She says that she'll never forget what I did for her that day because it was a lot of work, but I certainly enjoy shopping. Also, we do some corporate gifting. Here's some corporate gifts we put together. And one time my client was having a trouble getting kipples delivered from the Kibble Kitchen, because if you know the Kibble Kitchen in Allentown, they cut off their shipping for holiday orders. And so we had just missed it. And I went and waited in line for her and grabbed her the delicious kipples from the Kibble Kitchen. It's like almost a tongue twister. And then here are some more presents and corporate gifts that I wrapped for a client. A huge popular service that I do is taking the tree down. Of course, we all love to put up a Christmas tree. It's lots of fun trying to figure out where everything goes, but the not so fun part is taking everything down and putting it all away. So I do help clients with that a lot of times. So today we're gonna be talking about sending holiday cheer virtually. So we're going to go over how to schedule a Zoom meeting for your family and friends, hopefully, and how to invite them to the meeting. And also, I wanted to give some ideas about how to organize your holiday card list. A lot of my clients, they want to send out holiday cards every year, but their addresses and, you know, friends' information is just not in a organized format, and it makes it hard. So it makes it easier to procrastinate. So I had one client this year who, you know, expressed that she was also in that category. She wanted to send out cards, but, you know, just the fact of trying to get everything together was overwhelming. So she said next year. And then also I do want to talk a little bit about digitizing old greeting cards, because recently I discovered, you know, quite a treasure trove of greeting cards in one of my family's homes that I was organizing. And I really didn't realize that you know, how many you would accumulate because there was just so many. So what I do have a solution for getting rid of the old greeting cards and at least keeping some of the messages in a digital format. And lastly, we're going to be talking about using your phone for holiday to-do lists and the different ways that you can do this, like through different apps for your smartphone. So I'm really excited and very pumped to get started. So we had a poll. Have you scheduled a Zoom meeting before? So Laurie, if you want to just answer that question for me.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so she has, but of course she's the librarian, so she has to. But a lot of times I hear clients, you know, they are joining Zoom meetings, but maybe they haven't been able to schedule their own yet and host it and have, you know, friends and family of their own come together. So for resources, if you wanted to schedule a Zoom meeting and send it out, obviously you're going to need Zoom or a different video calling software. You most likely are going to need a computer. If you're the one that's sending out the information, it does make it a lot easier versus using a smart device only. And if you're going to purchase a computer, you know, purchase one with a webcam and a mic. But if you are using a computer that doesn't have those, you can actually purchase a webcam and a mic that are external that plug into your USB ports. And that's actually what I'm using. I just bought a new webcam a couple of weeks ago, and I really like, it's really nice to improve the quality of my video. And also I'm using just headphones, Laurie also, and that's helping us to cut down on background noise. So you can, you know, kind of backfit a computer if you don't have one that doesn't have a webcam. So the external mic and headset are optional, but they certainly do help the quality of the meeting. And you're going to need all your contact info for your family. So, you know, most times Zoom links are sent out through email. So it might be a good time to collect everybody's email in your circle and make sure you have the most current one. And, you know, also make sure that it's one that they're checking, because the worst thing, we had this happen, my family, was somebody missed the email, and then 2 days later they saw it and they had missed the meeting because we were a little last minute with that one. But you know, you're just doing your best, and as long as some people are getting together, you can always do more meetings more frequently with your family rather than just like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Maybe make it like a monthly little family get together if you can. And also you're going to need somewhere to cast yourself. So you can pick any room in your house basically to cast, but certain rooms will be a nicer background and they'll give you better lighting. But and also remember, your family's going to be able to see everything in the background, so make sure your house is at least a little bit neat, or like you just kind of, you can also like make sure they're only seeing portion of it, something like that. So here is the Zoom interface. And so we did a Zoom meeting back in the beginning of the pandemic. And so this is March 17th, but it's exactly the same. It's 4 basic control buttons and then a menu across the top. And so for here, you see, you can just start a meeting off the fly. You can join one, schedule one. So if you're gonna schedule a meeting, you would go and first you're going to navigate to the meetings window, and then here pops up a little schedule a meeting pop-up box. So you just fill out the name of the meeting, family meeting, what date and time you want to schedule it for, and you have the choice to generate an automatic meeting invite or to use a personal meeting ID. And so I just typically will generate automatically because it's more secure to have different meeting numbers because of all the Zoom bombing that has happened to people. So I like to change it each time. And for the password, I always put a password that is just a word instead of doing a numeric password, because I feel like it makes the meeting a little extra special. If it's something about your family, you could write something that reminds you of your family, and that way it's not just a bunch of numbers. There's a word in there. And you can also choose whether people will be with their video on or off. So that would be helpful if you wanted to have just a meeting where everybody's video was off and you viewed something else, that would be fine too. And I always choose other calendars, which is the last option, because I don't like to integrate necessarily, but when you choose other calendars, it will just give you the full information to copy and paste into your own calendar. So here's my meeting, Zoom meetings with family. You can see at the top, it's under the meetings portion menu, we'll call it. So there's home, chat, meetings, and contact. So you click meetings, and then you would see all of your upcoming scheduled meetings here. And so we can see the name of the meeting, the time, it was today. So you see the date, and you can copy the invitation right from here. So it's pretty simple. You're just filling out some information, and then you're going to copy it and send it in an email to friends and family. So you're going to send it, and you're just going to create a new email message and paste the invitation right into that email. Where it says copy invitation, you'll just paste that into your email program, whether you're using Gmail or Yahoo or any of the standard email programs. And then you can also create a calendar event if you're somebody who likes to use the digital calendar. And that's something I want to talk about more in my next class. I talked to Laurie about getting smart about smart devices, and we will go over how to use the calendar on your phone and learn that a little bit better. So, but I love to use it, so I'm very I use it a lot. And it's great to keep these meeting invites separated, because at the time of your calendar invite, you can just click on the description, which is where I put the meeting information, and then you just have the right information at the right time. And I always like to blind carbon copy, or BCC, when I'm sending a mass email to people, because it's just a little bit neater. It only shows the recipient your email address that you sent it from, and it doesn't show them everybody's email address. So if you're doing friends and family, maybe your friends and family don't want to all have their email address made known public to a bunch of others. So that's why I recommend using BCC for this type of email to a bunch of people. And then you can, like I said, add the meeting into your calendar, paste the invitation link and information into the description, and then that way you can just pull it right back up. And that'll avoid a lot of the problems when people click on the wrong link, or they can't find it when they need it. So that's my little trick for that. So that's very simple, but you might need to practice a few times. Like, you can always get help, I'm sure, from the library or from me if you have any questions. But the first time that you do it will be the hardest, and then it will get just easier and easier. So we're going to move on to your holiday card list now. So in order to get this list together, you're going to need a couple of things. If you have an invitation list from maybe a wedding or like a shower, anything that you sent out invitations for already in the past, that's a great tool to use to get your list started, especially if you can copy and paste it from an Excel to the Excel that you're going to be using. Then that just makes things a lot easier. It will save you a lot of time. But if you don't have that, you can always use your handy dandy address book. Hopefully you have one of those. Or you could also, if you keep them in your contacts in your email, that would be something you could also draw the information from. And if you have none of those things, you're going to have to get on the phone or start texting your friends and family and getting their addresses, because you just don't have them. You might have to do that for a few people, even if you do have an address book. So you're going to have to reach out to some resources to get that information. And also for the way we're going to organize them today, for virtual or digital, you would need a computer again and a spreadsheet program. So you could use either Excel or Google Sheets or what is Apple's version? I think it's Numbers, or is it, or something. So
Something
any
like that.
kind of spreadsheet, basically. And then you will need the example spreadsheet, and I put this on my website, hereforyoupa.com/events. So you can scroll to the bottom of that page and find the example spreadsheet that I'm going to show. So here's what it looks like. You have tabs on this spreadsheet. It has 3 tabs, and the first one is going to be an address book, and that will be like your master address list where you have everybody's information, you know, not just people that you're going to send Christmas cards to, but everybody that you want to record and keep their information for. And then the second tab on this spreadsheet is a holiday card list. And so this is going to be only the people that you want to send a holiday card to every single year. And, you know, maybe it's only 20, 25 people, or even less, like 10 people, people that are just very special to you that you want to make sure you get that card out to. So it's going to be a shorter list than the address book. And you can kind of take the information. Once it's in the address book, you can copy it and paste it into the holiday card list. And so the main difference between these two is that the holiday card list has the years. So right now it's 2020. So if we're starting it this year, you're going to have 2020 there. If not, you know, you'd have the year that you started this record, and you're just going to put a check mark or a done or whatever to notify that you sent them a card on that year. So, you know, obviously we want to send cards every year if we're going to send them. So just having that check mark where you can easily pull up your list. And the other thing about this is that the format is maybe a little bit different than some people would expect, because it has separated columns for city, state, and zip. And there is a reason actually for that. Most programs that you create labels from, like MailMerge or Avery.com, they will actually let you separate city, state, and zip, and it just makes it easier to take that information from the spreadsheet and put it onto a different format and to do what's called a mail merge, which is when you create labels from an Excel spreadsheet like this. And maybe that'll be a topic for another class, doing a mail merge, because it's a little bit more advanced, but it's certainly doable. And do you have any questions, Laurie?
I don't at the moment. I'm not sending out cards this year because I'm a little overwhelmed, but for next year, this looks like a really excellent resource.
Yeah, and then there's one more tab on this Excel spreadsheet. I wanted to kind of cover a few things, and there's also a birthday list on there. So I do have a different birthday list in the same section of my website under downloads, and that is it's like one page is 1 month, but this birthday list is a little bit simpler, but certainly good way to organize everything. And also, like, a huge benefit of putting this information in Excel format is that you can then sort it. So let's say, you know, you have you know, you could sort it by alphabetical, or you could sort all your friends that live in the same zip code and maybe do like 2 or 3 little stops at their houses or something. You know, you can use it for a lot of different things, but I really like the ability to sort it in different ways. Maybe one of the ways that you could definitely do is, like, if you had the holiday card list and you were making X's for the cards that you sent, you could rearrange the list and send cards only to people you sent them last year. So that's one of the things that I do. We have one client with a large holiday card list, and I just have her check and tell me everyone she wants to send a card to that year. She puts a check next to in their column for that year, and then I can just sort the whole thing and, easily send out cards only to the people at the top. So that's the holiday card list. And you can certainly do it other ways. Like there's many different ways to organize information. And this Excel spreadsheet is just one of them. But that's personally how I help clients get their list organized, and seems to work for them pretty well. So Laura, you're gonna have to answer this question. How many old holiday cards do you have stored up currently?
Well, I know we have some in the attic, and there's some kind of stored in my filing system. I would say maybe a couple of dozen.
Okay, that's not too bad. So, like I said, I've seen, many holiday cards all stored up, and it just, they take up so much room. They're very bulky, and it's very easy if you have a large family to fill up a shoebox a year of Christmas cards or, birthday cards. So I like to have a way that I can just cull them down and declutter them a little bit. So here's actually the holiday card I sent for my grandma. She likes these pop-up cards, and they had one that was the Nutcracker at the Hallmark. So I was so excited to send that to her, and it lights up and plays the Nutcracker. So I had a great time with that. Hopefully she won't. Yeah, like they like to keep them on the kitchen table for a while. So, but if you're going to be digitizing the old holiday cards, you can use a few different applications on your smartphone to do this. So one of the big ones is Evernote, which I talk about a lot, and that has a camera scanning function that will allow you to just camera scan all the cards into your Evernote application, and then you can access it online. So maybe you wanted to take all of the card messages and make a collage to go on the wall or something. You could download them all online and do something fun with them, or you could just keep them on your phone and look at them during the holidays and just remember the nice things that people said over the years. You could also do the same exact thing using Google Drive, which is another smartphone application, and it's a storage application. So it's kind of like your filing system for your computer, but you can, again, access it on your phone and also on your computer. So that makes it nice because you can search for things. So the same thing, scanning them into Google Drive and just saving them by year, or saving them all in a folder called holiday cards. And that way you can just, keep them in your pocket. You can look at them kind of whenever you want. And there's many different scanning apps, not just, Evernote and Google Drive. There's an HP Smart app. There's all kinds of different scanner apps. My clients will show me a new one all the time, and they all work the same. So whatever one you use is fine. You could also scan with your printer. This would probably take longer, but still very doable. And you just need a mechanism to save them and to categorize them on your computer. So you could even scan on your printer and save to Google Drive or another storage application, or you can store them on like a thumb drive. You just have to kind of pick like whatever fits your personality. If you're somebody who, would rather have a hard copy like on a thumb drive, then go for that. But just kind of think about the different options you have first. And then lastly, you could just take all the pictures using your smartphone and call it a day, as long as you have some way to store them so that you don't have to delete pictures after a certain, period of time, or after your phone gets full. You can also, take them off your smartphone and put them onto the computer. But just like the biggest thing that you want to remember, and I know the last time that we talked about this is one of the concerns the other participants brought up, was about having a system that you can access for a long period of time. So they were concerned about, signing up for an app and then it being like a fly-by-night where it's gone and you can't access your information. So that's why, you want to pick one that's like really reputable and that you can access, and you're not going to lose that if you lose your phone or something. So you have to kind of think ahead and maybe, ask a few friends how they do it, or consult one of the organizing blogs online about the different scanning applications. But just like having a way to store it is very important. Now the steps are, you're just going to take a photo or scan the card, create a folder on your computer to find them later. So I would say 2020 holiday cards, and put the year in the front so that it sorts automatically by the year, so you don't have to organize it any other way. And make sure you're saving them somewhere securely, either on your hard drive or your computer, or on a thumb drive somewhere where that that's where they are, because you wouldn't want to spend all this time and take all this work to digitize your holiday cards and then lose them forever, because that's a lot of time, and also then you got rid of the card, so you don't have it again. So, but maybe you do. Maybe after doing all this process, you would decide that you no longer have a need for the old holiday cards, and you could just get rid of them, because things happen to cards, and it's not the biggest deal if they're here today and gone tomorrow. Like, it's the people and the memories that we want to hold on to, not the physical card. And so what I've done this before, where I just cut out the message instead of saving the entire card, and put that into a scrapbook, because I'm someone who likes to scrapbook my memories. And just, you can get rid of them, like I said, or use them for craft purposes. I've seen people that made ornaments and all kinds of interesting, fun things out of old cards. So
my mother used to take old cards, cut the message part off, so it was just the picture part, and put it on gifts and use it as a tag.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, do something fun with them, because we all like to reuse and be crafty. So why not have something that you do with them? Like, I'm sure you can find more ideas on Pinterest or online. So next up, we're going to learn how to use our smartphone for a holiday to-do list. So this is a list of all the applications that you could use for a holiday to-do list. My favorite is at the top, Trello, which I do talk about a lot, but I have heard other people that really love Asana and Todoist. Also, somebody just was talking to me yesterday about Google Keep, which is another one. And lastly, if you wanted to be like a little bit less low tech, but still be able to access the list on your phone, you could use Google Docs. And, as long as you have the Google Docs application on your phone, you could still pull it up and edit it. That's just basically a Word document that is shareable, Google Docs. So that's the different ways that you could do it. So Trello is the one I'm going to focus on a little bit today, because we all know I love Trello. And I went on to Trello and I went to create an example board, and I actually remembered that they have templates on Trello, which is really cool, because this is just a template from Trello, and it was called Christmas Planner, and I just copied it and I made my own Trello board just basically in less than 5 minutes. So normally you would have to type all this information in yourself. Whoops. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Can you
I don't see, I can hear you, but I can't see your, there you are again.
Oh yeah, so I accidentally kicked my computer, and that's what happened.
Oh.
So we had some technical difficulties, but we're back. So I'll try not to kick the cord again. But we were talking about this fabulous Trello board here. It is so a Trello board is like a section of your to-do list, basically. So you can separate out the different to-do lists kind of by putting them on different boards. So if I was gonna separate my Trello boards, I typically do it by client, or like I'll do like a business versus personal. But there's a lot of different ways you can organize these applications, and you kind of just have to play around with it and see what you like about it, and kind of and it does take some getting used to, but I use these now all the time, so it's worth it. So this is a board. We're looking at a whole board, and it's made up of a series of lists. So each of these little columns is a list, and you can see at the top they have a label. So this is a to buy list. There's a to-do list, a purchase/done list, gifts, activities, recipes, and Christmas cookies. So this is actually more than just a to-do list. This particular Trello board is more like a whole holiday organizer all in one, because you have a section for your recipes and your cookies, and she's saving attachments. So there's like a lot you can do with this. But for the purposes today, we're going to focus on to-do mostly, because that's what it's all about, is you're getting your to-dos done. So you can see that there is several to-dos on here, and one of them's mail family Christmas cards. And they actually have a due date, which is December 19th. So you can just quickly glance at this to-do. Each card is like its own little item to do. So, and you would see that it's, got to be done by a certain time, and it's red because that was overdue. So this, I guess she did this last year. So once you do it, you can just simply like drag and drop into done. And then it is, it's just a way to keep track of your whole to-do list, because it gets so large during the holidays, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a way to just keep track of all of these things. And it does actually feel really good when you drag and you drop something into done, and it does give you a little bit of an extra sense of accomplishment. I'm not sure if it's quite as good as like crossing it off of a physical list, but it's almost as good. And the benefit of having it on your phone is that you're not going to leave it at home when you go out, so that you're able to pull up your list, your gifts, see what you purchased already, what you still have to purchase. And if we look at the gift list, it actually has little checklists inside of each person. So there's 5 different gifts that they were planning to buy, and they had already checked off 3 for hubby and 2 for mom. So there's a lot of different features in Trello, and it does take some getting used to, but when you really get going with it, it does help a lot, because you can just quickly pull up your list and see what's on it. You're not losing them, and you're able to take them with you to the store or wherever you're going.
Is Trello, is it free, or is it sort of like a freemium sort of thing?
Yeah, it's free, and then there is a Trello Gold, which is like an upgrade. But so yeah, you can use the regular free version, and there's nothing really that you're missing. But the gold version is like really souped up, like has a lot of extras, I guess, but they're just extras. So.
Gotcha.
And this is the close up of the cards. So I showed you about how the one has a due date, and you can set that to whenever date and time you want, if it's specific, which helps me because I have it pops up with notifications if I have one that has a due date that I'm like missing. So that's nice, because so easy to forget something little when you have so much on your plate. And then this one on the right, mom, like I said, there's a little there's actually 2 checklists. There's one for stocking stuffers and one for gifts. So this person, this is how they use Trello, and it's very cool. So we're gonna start wrapping up a little bit here with here's some gifts that we have wrapped in the past, little gift towers and all kinds of bows and stuff. So to review what we went over, which was a lot, so we talked about scheduling a Zoom meeting on your computer in 3 easy steps. We're talking about sending the Zoom invitation out to your family and friends, how to organize your card list through Excel. And like I said, the template is on my website, and it's hereforyoupa.com/events. All the way at the bottom is the downloads. We talked about digitizing your old greeting cards through scanning them, and also about using apps on your phone for holiday to-dos and reminders. And as a refresher, to scan your cards, you can use Evernote, you can use Google Drive scanning, another scanning app, you can scan on your printer, you can take pictures with your smartphones. So there's a lot of different ways. And the to-do apps that we talked about were Trello, Asana, Todoist, Google Keep, and Google Docs. So again, here's my website and my information. If anybody wants to contact me, or if you have any ideas, feel free to send them to me. I'd love to get some feedback about what the topics for the classes you would like and everything. And so, yeah, thank you very much for attending and for viewing our recording, and certainly appreciate everybody that supports Emmaus Public Library. And, you know, feel free to follow me on social media and learn about the future classes and everything. So thank you very much. So I'm gonna.
Yeah. Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome.